Peace. This is White Raptor News Ministries. How is everyone doing? I hope that you're having a pleasant day. Everything's going as planned. That you are loving the Lord. Here, or the Supreme Creator, the Spirit, the living God, the one, the true, the Spirit of truth. We're here at Deuteronomy number 9. Not because of Israel's righteousness. Hear, O Israel, you are now about to cross the Jordan to go in and disposes nations greater and stronger than you, with large cities that have walls up to the sky. The people are strong and tall. Anakites, you know about them and have heard it said, who can stand up against the Anakites? But be assured today that the Lord your God is the one who goes across the head of you like a devouring fire. He will destroy them. He will subdue them before you, and you will drive them out and annihilate them quickly, as the Lord has promised you. So if the Lord has promised you that you're going to annihilate them quickly, why is Israel in captivity? Because they're in captive because those in the providence of Israel today are not the true Israelites. And this is why discord is perpetual. You got to understand that the true chosen children of the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living God, says that you're not to follow these other gods or the pagans. After the Lord your God has driven them out before you, do not say to yourself, the Lord has brought me here to take possession of this land because of my righteousness. No, it is on account of the wickedness of these nations that the Lord is going to drive them out before you. So he's driving them out because of their wickedness, not because of your righteousness. Well, that's pretty harsh, you know, when you start looking at these stories. What's being said about Israel? You guys have been whining and crying and bitching and moping. You've been falling into the ways of the Gentile, transgressing the laws of your Creator, and you think that you're going to be handed everything like a cream puff. It doesn't work like that. In order to be treated like a cream puff, you've got to worship the Spirit of Truth, the living supreme authority that moves all things in place. It is not because of your righteousness or your integrity that you are going in to take possession of their land, but on account of their wickedness of these nations, the Lord your God will drive them out before you to accomplish what he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand then that it is not because of your righteousness that the Lord your God is giving you this good land to possess, for you are a stiff-necked people. So, you're stiff-necked, you're not righteous, is what God's telling you. And then, if this God is telling you that you're not righteous people, and he's only giving you the land because of the destruction and the Gentiles and the pagans and the way that they're running, it doesn't say much about you. Okay, because you're lost, because you refuse to hear the truth about the Spirit of Truth. Remember, and never forget how you aroused the anger of the Lord your God in the wilderness from the day you left Egypt until you arrived here. So you've been angering your God since you've left Egypt. You have been rebellious against the Supreme Spirit of Truth. At Horeb, you aroused the Lord's wrath so that he was angry enough to destroy you. Well, he was angry enough to destroy you, then why are you still here? Excuse me. When I went up on the mountain to receive the tablets of stone, okay? The tablets of stone are your left and right hemisphere of your brain, okay? The tablets of the covenant that the Lord had made with you. I stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. I ate no bread and drank no water. The Lord gave me 2 stone tablets inscribed by the finger of God. On them were all the commandments of the Lord proclaimed to you on the mountain out of the fire on the day of the assembly. At the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, the Lord gave me the 2 stone tablets, the tablets of the covenant. This is the Ark of the Covenant, folks. Everything, the Ark of the Covenant is a metaphor for everything that's going on inside of your mind, your brain. All right? Your brain is the Ark of the Covenant. Your brain, which gives you life, where every life comes from. Without that, there is no Ark. Would you agree? I would say yes. Then the Lord told me, go down from here at once, because your people whom you brought out of Egypt have become corrupt. Again? Corrupt again, Israel? How many times are you going to turn your back on the Supreme Spirit? I can understand why you'd be grumbling and angry and out of place about this God Yahweh. He's dragging you around in the desert for 40 years. He's got you moving from one camp to another camp. You don't know where your home is. You have no roots. You've been spread out all over the world. Sounds like a wonderful God, this Yahweh, huh? They have turned away quickly from what I commanded them and have made an idol for themselves. And the Lord said to me, I have seen this people, and they are a stiff-necked people indeed. Let me alone, so that I may destroy them and blot out their names from under heaven, and I will make you into a nation stronger and more numerous than they. So I turned and went down from the mountain while it was ablaze with fire, and the 2 tablets of the covenant were in my hand. When I looked, I saw that you had sinned against the Lord your God. You had made yourselves an idol cast in the shape of a calf. And who did that? Aaron. Aaron did that. All Israel said to him was, hey, build us a god. That's what the Israelites said. Make us a god. And all Aaron could substantiate as an argument for Moses being up at the mountain for 40 days was, bring me your gold. This is a man of God, and he's going to carve a calf. And his sons, 2 of his sons, were simply murdered and killed by this God Yahweh because they offered him a fire offering without permission. You had turned aside quickly from the way the Lord had commanded you. So I took the 2 tablets and threw them out of my hands, breaking them to pieces before your eyes. And this is probably the purpose and reason why Moses wasn't allowed into the land of milk and honey. Then once again I fell prostrate before the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. I ate no bread and drank no water because all the sins you had committed, doing what was evil in the Lord's sight, and so arousing his anger. I feared the anger of the wrath of the Lord, for he was angry enough with you to destroy you. But you're still here. Destroy some of you. Destroy part of you. A small number of you. But to say this comment is like he's destroyed all of you. But again, the Lord listened to me, and the Lord was angry enough with Aaron to destroy him. And the Lord was angry enough with Aaron to destroy him, but at that time I prayed for Aaron too. So Aaron wasn't struck down because Moses prayed for Aaron too. Also, I took that sinful thing of yours, the calf you had made, and burned it in the fire. Then I crushed it and ground it into powder as fine as dust, and threw the dust into a stream that flowed down the mountain. You have made the Lord angry at Taberah and Messah and at Kibroth Hattaavah. And when the Lord sent you out from Kadesh Barnea, he said, go up and take possession of the land I have given you. But you rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You did not trust him or obey him. You have been rebellious against the Lord ever since I have known you. Ever since I have known you. Well, you wouldn't have known if you hadn't eaten from that tree of knowledge of good and evil, then you wouldn't have known, now would you? Okay, I lay prostrate before the Lord those 40 days and 40 nights because the Lord had said he would destroy you. I prayed to the Lord and said, Sovereign Lord, do not destroy your people, your own inheritance that you redeemed by your great power and brought out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember your servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Overlook the stubbornness of this people, their wickedness and their sin. Otherwise, the country from which you brought us will say, because the Lord was not able to take them into the land he had promised them, and because he hated them. Oh, the Lord hates? He brought them out to put them to death in the wilderness. So this God hates. Now, there's a God that hates, and then there's God that loves. Does that make sense? Duality. I'm not trusting in a God that hates his people. He brought them out to put them to death in the wilderness. But they are your people, your inheritance that you brought out. Why are they an inheritance? Why are these people an inheritance that you brought out by your great power and your outstretched arm? I don't know, folks. I think you should start waking up to what's being said. Wish you much love, patience, kindness, tenderness, warmth, tranquility, and peace. May the Spirit of truth be upon you so that you may find the truth. This is White Raptor News Ministries.